in my domain. Got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane. It's over before you know it. While you shaking, we're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty. Now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine. We live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights. For the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here as we prepare for race number 14 of our 4th season of the NNSCRA Pizza Hut X Series. We're getting ready to go racing here tonight under the lights at the Iowa Speedway, getting ready for the running of the American Ethanol E15 250. It's going to be a wild one here tonight, but maybe not a wild one in terms of wrecks. It may end up coming down to maybe a fuel strategy race. Because if we didn't tune into our Tax Layer Truck Series race here last night, we ran 38 laps completely clean and green. So here tonight, we'll see what these drivers are going to be able to do. The thing about it is, though, normally you would expect that the Pizza Hut X Series would be the kind of a series where you'd have the fuel strategy races. Last couple of tracks we've gone to where it seems like it's going to be a fuel strategy race, Pizza Hut X Series has won out for most cautions on the weekend. So maybe we're going to see a wreck fest tonight, maybe we won't. We're going to have to wait and see. 50 laps on the scheduled distance here tonight, though, so with the added 12 laps from our Tax Layer Truck Series event last night, we'll have to see if these drivers can make it that full distance on one tank of fuel. If not, we could be in for a bit of a fuel strategy event. Carson Gum, he was denied his second pole of the season by William Brock, who picks up his first starting pole position of the year. William Brock comes into this race struggling in the point stands as well, 39th in points. So if ever a time to get the ball rolling and get his season turned around, tonight would probably have to be the night. So we'll see if William Brock can maybe go to victory lane here this evening at a track where track position, starting position especially, is very, very important. Case in point, pole sitter Heather Gallant last night led all 38 laps en route to her first Truck Series win. Gum will start on the outside of the front row, though. Carson comes into this race 31st in the points, so he's not only looking for a win here tonight, which would be his first of the season. Matter of fact, I believe it'd be his first of his career as well, but he's also trying to get himself into the top 30 in the point stands as well, so if he does get a win down the line here in the regular season, it will count towards a playoff position. Quentin Moore, 4th in the point standings. He's still looking for his first win of the season as well. He rolls off from 4th, and Garrett Sydnor in the 24. He comes into this race currently situated down in 25th in points. He's also looking for his first win of the season. Of course, a former playoff contender last year in the Hershey's Cup Series. Two-time winner Nathan Hudson, you see him rolling off from the 6th position. He's joined by Scott Roush as a two-time winner. Let's go get that command.
Drivers, start your engines.
Hudson comes into this race 28th in the points standings, so obviously looking for a good run to get away from that 30th in the points standing danger zone. And as mentioned, Scott Roush, who won at Arizona last week, he's also a two-time winner right now. With where they run the points, both those drivers have locked up spots in the playoff standings. Speaking of standings, it's time to give you your top 10, the points coming into tonight's race, presented by Golden Corral. Angel Navarro is the new points leader now, takes the points lead over after last week at Arizona by 8 points over the former points leader Andre Baranowskas. Chloe Ericsson dropped to 3rd points, still 9 points out from points lead, and 13 points back is Quentin Moore, who we said is rolling off from the 3rd position. Rest of the top 10, the points. J Jefferson's 5th in the standings. Scott Roush, with his 2nd win of the season last week, is now 6th. Chris Dollerton 7th. Steve Morgan's in 8th. 9th is Matt McIntire, and 10th is Ben Braley. green flag is in the air. We're underway here tonight at Iowa Speedway. A lot of drivers consider this track a short track. The distance is about 0.8 of a mile. Ooh, got a couple of cars that got the wall there off that corner. Carson Gum, G Sydnor, and Nathan Hudson. That might have been a result of cold tires and not a lot of grip. As William Brock very easily going to lead the first lap of the evening. And the cars that start on the inside row, they move up to first, second, and third. Brock, Moore, and Olson. And Carson Gum got the wall again there out of that corner. Now, Iowa Speedway made its debut on the schedule for the Pizza Hut X Series last year, the same time that it debuted on the schedule for the first season of the Tax Slayer Truck Series. The inaugural winner of Iowa is in this field, and he's a former winner of the season as well, and that is J Shears in the 7 for Michael Norman Motorsports. So we'll have to see if during the course of this race that Little Caesar Chevy Camaro makes his way up towards the front, trying to maybe double down and get his second straight victory at this track. William Brock stepping out for a bit. Best battle maybe for the second position. Daniel Olson trying to reel in Quentin Moore. Carson Gum's been able to get back down to the inside line after brushing the wall twice behind his teammate Charles Jackson, so he slots into 5th. Jackson is in 4th. And I believe the caution flag is out. I think I just saw the yellow lights on. It's the first time this weekend that those yellow lights are blinking. And it takes place here on lap number 5 as William Brock was enjoying the view out front. Really didn't have any pressure out back. They'll have to line him up and he'll have to do it again here on a restart. Let's see what brought out this caution. And we've got Scott Roush, last week's winner. He's near the rear of the field. Oh, wow, a lot of damage there on the right side of Diego Yepes. And look at this. We having pit stops? William Brock is down on the bottom of the track. Is he coming to pit road is the question. No, he is not. But Quentin Moore and Daniel Olson are. So this is interesting. I wondered if with the elongated distance, if we were actually going to have these drivers have to pit. And apparently that's the case. This is a very interesting strategy, though, because very early on, Quentin Moore and Daniel Olson are giving up second and third place. Very good starting track position to come to pit road. I think they're relying on this race maybe going green to the end now. Let's take a look and see what happened to Diego Yepes, though, in the 21 as we're under caution for the first time here tonight at the Iowa Speedway. Well, as it turns out, the car that had a lot of damage, Diego Yepes, was not the reason for the caution waving. Here you see Scott Roush. Look at his exit out of turn 4 here. That car got really loose on him. He's going to come up right into our Daytona winner, Ying Canario. I mean, he went up about 2 grooves from where he entered turn 3. Bounces off the 6, down into Cody Llamas. Then Llamas is going to spin around off the nose of J Jefferson. I don't think anybody else hits either of those machines. Llamas is down on the apron out of the way. Roush is avoided by Zach Flickinger. So that's what brought out the caution. Now let's find out where that damage came from on the 21 of Diego Yepes. Okay, here he is. Oh, wow. I don't know if he came up or if Jessica Miles came down, but one or the other happened. Miles hooks Yepes in the right rear quarter panel, and both cars go up and take a pretty hard lick into that outside safer barrier. Yepes was nose first, and Jessica Miles was with a good portion of the right front. You can see there was right side damage for Canario after he got forced into the wall by Scott Roush as well. So that's what brought out the caution, and then the incident here between Miles and Yepes was a follow-up wreck after the caution had been taken. And so now let's go back for the restart. I believe Diego Yepes has taken his car behind the wall, so already one driver out of this race. Getting ready to go back green flag racing. William Brock, Charles Jackson, Carson Gum, Kyle Langeland, and James Qualls are your top 5 as we go back green. Diego Yepes was indeed the only driver after the incident to go back behind the wall, but he is not the only one that's in the garage area. Two-time winner Nathan Hudson also went behind the wall to the garage. A camshaft issue plaguing him. He'll finish 41st, and that is huge for Nathan Hudson, because remember, with Hudson getting his second win of the season at Phoenix, it brought him up into the top 30 in the points. He only comes into this race 28th in the standings. That's not exactly a huge cushion between himself and 30th in points. This DNF could very well put him outside the top 30 in points again, and it doesn't matter if you have 2 wins, it doesn't matter if you have 10 wins. If you're not in the top 30 in points, you're not making it into the playoffs. So Nathan Hudson and that team's going to have some work to do heading into next week's race at Watkins Glen. Now we did have, as we saw Quentin Moore and Daniel Olson come to pit road, we should also point out a couple of other lead lap cars came to pit road under that caution. Aubrey Eselstein in the 3, Seth Cole in the 66. So if this thing does go green to the end, and these drivers cannot make it on fuel, those 4 may be very important to keep an eye on to see if they're able to make it the rest of the scheduled distance. Battle for the lead is on. Carson Gum started outside of the front row to William Brock. He's going to pass. That's our first lead change of the evening. It takes place on lap 13. We also saw Charles Jackson make a bit of an exit from the top 5 as he got kicked to the high side. He's now back in 6th place. Carson Gum, as I recall, made his rookie debut in the Pizza Hut X Series back in Season 2. He drove the number 4 Flex Seal Chevrolet, as I recall, which had gone to victory lane the previous season with Zachariah Hall at, I want to say it was Las Vegas. But Carson Gum has never won in the Pizza Hut X Series. Last year, he drove for Backmarker Motorsports. Got re-signed this year. He finished out last season the highest driver in the point standings, not in the playoffs. He finished 13th in the points with 6 top 5s, 12 top 10s, which was the highest of any driver in that category of top 10s, but has yet to find victory lane in the Pizza Hut X Series. Could tonight be the night? Maybe, but keep in mind, we've got that whole potential fuel strategy issue. Brock back in 2nd place. That's another driver that has not won here in the Pizza Hut X Series. And if I recall correctly, I believe William Brock has been in the Pizza Hut X Series since Season 1. Season 1, he finished 39th in points. Season 2, he finished 35th in points. And last season, Season 3, he finished 38th in points. So Pizza Hut X Series has not been kind to the 62 team. As we've got skid marks there on the back straightaway, we're under caution for the 2nd time here tonight. And just to follow that up, we already mentioned William Brock comes into this race 39th in points. So I don't think he's had a season where he's finished in the top 30 in the Pizza Hut X Series point standings. And during all that time, he has not gone to victory lane either. Cole Deaver got some damage there on the right front. He was obviously involved in whatever this incident was. Another car down the apron there, and that's the 05 of J Jefferson. What about the race leaders? Anybody coming to pit road? No, they're not. I saw some damage there on the right side of Justin Tucker, our Bristol winner. There you can see it clearly on his Eris Toyota, so he may have been involved in whatever the caution was. And none of the leaders coming to pit road, which says to me that maybe, just maybe here with these yellow flags, they're being able to save fuel under yellow and feel it'll be enough that they can save to make it to the end. Regardless, let's take a look and see what brought out the caution for the 2nd time here tonight at Iowa. Well, we had 2 wrecks. This was the one that initially brought out the caution. A couple of rookies getting together there. The 19 of Justin Tucker, the 92 of Joshua Hyatt. Hyatt's going to come off of the wall, and he's going to sweep up Seth Cole in the 66, Daniel Olson in the 32. Keep in mind, Seth Cole was one of the drivers that came to pit road under that last caution, was working his way up through the field. Daniel Olson had been up in the top 10 at one point of this race. And then Olson's going to hit Seth Cole there in the left front. Now that is what brought the caution flag out, but we did actually have an incident as well with Cole Deaver, and there it is right there, involving him and last year's winner at this racetrack, J Shears. Let's see what exactly happened with these two. Oh, that looks like that might have been on Deaver. Oh yeah, wow, Deaver got really loose there into the entry of the corner. Car slides right up into the racing line of J Shears, and pretty hard contact there with the right front for the Bass Pro Shops Tracker Boats Chevrolet, and pretty pancaked right side as well for the defending winner of this race, J Shears. So we had the initial incident take place out of 2. We had a follow-up wreck in turn number 3. And like I said, Pizza Hut X Series, it seems to be the one series where the cautions seem to wave. We had no cautions in 38 laps in our Truck Series race, and we were already not halfway through this race, and our second yellow flag is waving in tonight's Pizza Hut X Series event. So, yeah, very interesting. I don't know if it's the aggressive level is kicked up in this series or what, but always seems like this is the series. If you're looking for caution flags, you're going to get them. Well, green flag will come out nearing the halfway point. It'll be on lap 22 when the green will wave once again. Big question. 4 big letters. F-U-E-L, fuel. Are they good to go on it now, working our second pacing lap session? We'll have to wait and see. Carson Gumb's going to restart as the leader. William Brock in second. Third place is Kyle Langeland. Fourth is Garrett Sydnor. Fifth, Chloe Ericsson. Then it's Charles Jackson, Eli Bright, Chris Dollerton, J Qualls, and M McIntire. That is your top 10. The green flag is back in the air. One driver, I have to say, I'm surprised didn't hit pit road, even though I don't think he'd want to give up the track position, would be William Brock. Brock started out in front, and then when we had our last restart, Carson Gumb was able to get around him. So apparently something was wrong in the handling for that 62 on the last green flag run that he didn't like, and it cost him the race lead. So I thought they might want to bring him down, make an adjustment to try and help him out with that, unless he's able to manually with the track bar in the car be able to fix his issue. Though it didn't exactly help him get back up to Carson Gumb to battle back for the race lead either under that green flag run. After that incident, nobody out of the race. Cole Deaver came to pit road, repaired his car as best they could. He's back out in 40th place. J Shears still running, Seth Cole still running, along with Daniel Olson. Saw them get involved in that incident, along with Joshua Hyatt. Only 2 drivers out of the race. That was after the first incident, taking Diego Yepes out of the event in 42nd. Of course, we already documented Nathan Hudson, 2-time winner, out of the race due to a mechanical issue. We're halfway home. Carson Gumb shows the way. William Brock in second. Garrett Sydnor right now in third. And how about Chloe Ericsson? Solid outing there in fourth. She's one of 4 drivers coming to this race that mathematically is in the hunt to take the points lead over heading into Watkins Glen. She comes into this race 9 points back from Angel Navarro, only 1 point behind Andra Baranaskas, and neither of those drivers are currently running up inside of the top 10. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm imagining things, but I believe the track we're going to next week at Watkins Glen is where Daniel Voiles picked up his first Pizza Hut X Series victory, and if I recall correctly, he was actually in that number 46 car. I want to say it was back in Season 2. Look and see if my mind's playing tricks on me, or am I actually correct in that information? No, Andra Baranaskas won back in Season 2. Was it Season 1 then? Trying to recall. No, Daniel Voiles wasn't even in the series back in Season 1. Okay. Oh no, Voiles ended up going to victory lane in Season 2, but it was at Richmond in the 46 car. Okay, so it wasn't Watkins Glen. I thought it was Watkins Glen for some reason. Battle may be on for second place. William Brock's got his hands full, and now Garrett Sydnor is all over his back bumper for that position. Now we look at Carson Gumb. I mean, we are getting into the nitty-gritty. We're getting closer and closer towards the end of the regular season, so we start focusing on drivers with wins, where these would situate them in playoff position-wise. With Carson Gumb coming into this race is 31st in the point standings. Coming into this race, the way that the 12 playoff grid spots currently are situated, you had Scott Roush and N Hudson with their 2 wins. They would have the first 2 seeds. That'll probably be subject to change with Hudson's DNF here tonight. But then the other one-time winners that got in via their wins that are top 30 in the points would be Chris Dollerton, Matt McIntire, Charles Jackson, Seth Cole, Mark Davidson, Jordan Lopez, Justin Tucker, Yin Canario, Dougie Shears, and Aubrey Eisestein. Now Eisestein holds the final spot as she comes into this race 29th in the point standings. So Carson Gum here tonight could very well, with a win, put himself up into one of those 12 playoff positions. Take a look here, and the top 5 looks a little different because Eli Bright has now jumped up into the 5th spot. Another driver down near the danger zone in the points, 27th in the standings coming into this race. Of course, you remember last year he won back-to-back races, the final 2 races of the season in the Tax Slayer Truck Series. Right behind him, you've got Chris Dollerton, former winner this season. 7th in the points standings coming into this year. It's been a career year for him. And his teammate right behind him, another driver that's having a career year, Matt McIntire, who found victory lane earlier on this season. He's 9th in the points coming into this race. So a couple of drivers out of the M&M stable having very solid outings here this evening, as they're both trying to make what would be their first playoff berth in the Pizza Hut X Series chase for the championship. Back here just inside the top 10, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, Ryan George. Only driver so far for Kev Shear Racing Tech that has not yet found victory lane. Steve Morgan right behind him in 9th. Morgan in that rookie points battle with Alex Gray. Right now, Morgan 2 points over Alex Gray in the rookie standings. Chelsea Bowles, who last season finished 2nd in the overall point standings for the championship. Certainly trying to bounce back this year. 40th in points coming into this race. Running right now in the top 10, and right behind her, the rookie Mason Wood in the 18 for Joe Gibbs Racing. Another driver that is struggling in the point standings coming to this one. Mason Wood is 35th in points. Charles Jackson kind of faded back as you see the cautions out. Jackson back in 12th place, but yellow flag waves once again, and probably not what Carson Gum wanted to see. He was holding about almost a full second lead at that point. It was about 7/10 for a good portion of this run, and then it began to increase as that battle for second began to heat up between Brock and Sydnor. And pit road was open. The leaders did not come to pit road. So this tells me that they were close on fuel, but now with these caution flags, they're being able to save enough under pacing that they're going to be able to make it. So let's take a look and see who would have brought this yellow flag out. There's Cole Deaver at the rear of the field again, but I don't know if it was necessarily him. Got some drivers here with some right side damage. Mark Davidson and Ben Braley. They may have been the reason the caution came out, as it looked like we had another spin off turn 2 on the back straightaway. Let's take a look and see what it was. Actually, it was back around a battle for 16th, 17th, and 18th. That's Quentin Moore up top, Jake Rogers in the middle, and points leader Angel Navarro there on the bottom. Moore gets on the outside 3 wide, hits the wall, comes down to Jake Rogers, and then he goes down across the nose of the Menards Peak Chevrolet. And it's basically a single car spin on the back straightaway. Jake Rogers, this has not been his year. Dead last in the point standings. Average finish of 28th place. And he was running at the time up inside the top 20 and going to lose a lot of valuable track position as a result of that spin. So, tough break there for the driver of the Lilly Diabetes Ford Mustang, a ride that has been to victory lane at least once in the last 2 years. James Shelly back in Season 2, LaPlante twice in Season 3. But that luck has not come the way of Jake Rogers and that team so far this year, and he is the reason for our 3rd caution of the night here at Iowa. Alright, we should be getting the signal 1 to green this time, I hope. And if that is the case, then we'll be back green flag racing on lap 40, which will give us 11 laps to go. And indeed, that is going to be the case. So with 11 laps remaining, and now knowing drivers pretty much are going to be good to go on fuel, let's give you as good a rundown as we can. Carson Gum will restart as the leader. William Brock there in second. Does he have anything for the 99? Then you've got Garrett Sydnor in third. Chloe Ericsson will restart fourth. Eli Bright in fifth. Chris Dollerton is sixth. Seventh is Matt McIntire. Eighth, Ryan George. Ninth is Steve Morgan, and completing the top 10 is Chelsea Bowles. Mason Wood is in 11th, Charles Jackson 12th, Kyle Langeland 13th, 14th is Z Flickinger. Car that triggered the last wreck in 15th place is Quentin Moore. Then you've got 16th Ashlyn Boyd, 17th Angel Navarro, 18th is Aubrey Eisestein, 19th is Alex Gray, and completing the top 20 is Jordan Lopes. Should make a mention, 18th place Aubrey Eisestein is the highest running of the drivers that came to pit road under the first caution. Green flag back in the air, 11 laps to go. Can Carson Gum hold him off one more time? I think William Brock realized that right there into turn one was his best opportunity to try and get back by Carson Gum. He tried it, could not do it. And now you see Carson Gum again beginning to open up some daylight between his rear bumper and the front bumper of the 62. Carson Gum's had a very strong machine tonight, got around William Brock on the first restart, and hasn't looked back since. William Brock's had a stout machine, but right now, in terms of speed, it looks like it's only fast enough to run second. He has not been able to get back up there and take the race lead away from Carson Gum. And now I think William Brock has to shift his focus from offense back to defense. Garrett Sydnor back on his bumper trying to take that runner-up spot. Eli Bright was awfully wide through that corner, trying to hold off the advances of Chris Dollerton as he's trying to crack the top 5. Bright will hang on to the spot for the moment. I believe the caution flag is out again. It is. Fourth time tonight, the yellow flag waves, and we will get back green flag racing with a shootout here. So William Brock gets one more opportunity at Carson Gum, it looks like. And another incident on the back straightaway. Although this one looks like it, oh nope, and it, oh wow. I was gonna say it looked like it resolved itself quickly, but now we've got a lot of smoke there in the turn 3 area. And I may have seen some black smoke, which means someone took a pretty hard lick. Andre Baranowska, second in the points, is on pit road. And the defending winner of this race, D Shears as well, Jessica Miles. And there's the driver where the black smoke was coming from, Canario R, Daytona winner. Lot of significant damage on his Ford EcoBoost Mustang. Cole Deaver is also smoking. Second incident he's been involved tonight. And also Ben Braley, 10th in the points, is involved. Jake Rogers is in it. Oh wow, there were a lot of drivers in this one. James Shelly, James Qualls, Angel Navarro, the points leader. Daniel Olson was also in it in the 32. And there's some other drivers back here that's got some damage. Ashlyn Boyd's got damage. Aubrey Eisestein. I think Chelsea Bowles might have been involved in this, along with the car we're looking at right now, the 05 of J Jefferson. Looks like this was a pretty big wreck. Most of our wrecks have been 2 cars or single car spins. Not this one. Caution's out for the 4th time tonight, hopefully the last time tonight. It sets us up for a shootout, but a lot of drivers were involved in this one. This was a battle for 11th place, so this was pretty close up towards the front of the field. 3 wide situation, kind of like what we saw in our last caution. This time it's Chelsea Bowles up on the top side of the track. Gets the wall. Charles Jackson was right on her right rear, so it turns the 31 around immediately. And then watch right here. Chelsea Bowles spins. Nobody hits her, but then you see when Jackson tried coming back up the track, Ashlyn Boyd was already to his outside. And that's what's going to start this stack up. Phil Parker's in it, Aubrey Eisestein, and then just watch all these drivers. Nobody slows down. There's Jefferson, Christian Merrick Jr., Seth Cole, Baranowskis. Olson slides right into Alex Gray. There's Canario. Oh, wow, Christian Merrick Jr. hit something down there on the left side of your screen. I'm not sure what. There's Braley. Rogers slides in. Shelly's in it. Here comes Cole Deaver. I don't know who he's going to hit. You see Jessica Miles there through the smoke. Oh, right there. Cole Deaver gets Dougie Shears. Ben Braley was up and over. Let's see if we can find out what happened to some of these other drivers here. Let's look at the 78 of Christian Merrick Jr. Just nobody slowed down. Everybody just kept on the throttle and hoped they were going to make it through. All right, let's see what happens with the 78. What does he hit? He kind of bounced back out into the track. He might have hit the inside wall, but I didn't think he hit it hard enough that it would bounce him back out into traffic like it did. Oh, wow, there you go, yeah. He's going to go up and get Seth Cole there in the driver's side door. Look at the teammates, James Qualls and Joshua Osborne, make an evasive maneuver to the bottom to get through. Mark Davidson got a piece of it there in the 29. It's the shot from Jake Rogers that flips Ben Braley over. And then watch Cole Deaver flies in. He's going to clobber Dougie Shears. Boy, that's a lot of drivers involved in that wreck that are either near the danger zone or outside of the danger zone right now that did not need this to happen to them. A lot of former winners in there too. Canario, Shears, Eisestein, Jackson, Davidson. Boy, this wreck certainly is going to play a big role into what the point stands are going to look like next week. No doubt about that. And it sets us up for what's going to probably be a doozy of a shootout to finish out tonight's race at Iowa as well. But it looks like a number of drivers will not be coming to take this final green flag of the evening. Field cycling through the area where that big wreck took place there in turn 3. If the lights go out atop the pace car this time, we'll be restarting this race with 4 laps remaining. Drivers that will not be taking this green flag, and a number of them are out of this race. Christian Merrick Jr. will finish in 31st. Behind him, James Qualls, Ben Braley, Yin Canario, Jake Rogers. Matter of fact, I believe both of the Roush Fenway cars out of the race due to this wreck. Or at least 2 of the 3. The 60 of Steve Morgan still running. Cole Deaver is out of the race, along with Jessica Miles, Charles Jackson, also Andre Baranowskis, Dougie Shears. They joined Nathan Hudson and Diego Yepes back behind the wall. There's probably a number of other drivers that were able to continue, but probably will not be up to speed. So, let's set it up for you. It's Carson Gum, the leader. William Brock, one last try to be able to get by Carson Gum for this win. G Sydnor there in 3rd. Chloe Ericsson 4th, Eli Bright 5th, and the rest of your top 10, Chris Dollerton, Matt McIntire, Ryan George, Steve Morgan, and Mason Wood, who was the last driver ahead of that big wreck that took place for our 4th and hopefully final caution. Here we go. Carson Gum, William Brock, G Sydnor, they're all looking for their first Pizza Hut X Series win. Green flags in the air, and Brock was ready. Brock got a nice start there. Can he keep in touch with the 99 of Carson Gum, though? Carson starting to pull away there out of turn 2, though. But, boy, Brock, I think he anticipated that restart, and it looked like he might have been able to get a run on Carson Gum, but he wasn't able to get to the inside through turn 1. And now Carson Gum out in front with that clean air begins to set sail once again. 3 laps to go here at Iowa. Seth Cole Baker Motorsports with their 5-car team already has 2 wins this season. 1 courtesy of Seth Cole, 1 courtesy of Charles Jackson, trying to get their 3rd with Carson Gum. More importantly, Carson Gum in his 3rd full-time season looking for career win number 1 here in the Pizza Hut X Series. 2 more laps, 4 more corners for the Weather Channel Chevy Camaro. The battle is on for 2nd. Sydnor all over the back bumper of William Brock. So that may have iced it for sure. Coming to get the white flag is Carson Gum. He got by William Brock for the lead on the first restart. Never looked back. He's had the strongest car of the evening. And now he's just racing it back to the checkers. Doesn't matter if the caution comes out or not. The battle's still on for 2nd. Looks like Brock might be able to hold Sydnor off. But in this race, it's all about position 1, and it'll be Carson Gum out of turn 4 for the final time. He'll take the checkered flag in the American Ethanol 250 at Iowa. First career Pizza Hut X Series win finally for Carson Gum. This will definitely put him in the top 30 in points, and now the question is, does this put him in the running for one of the 12 playoff positions in the chase for the Pizza Hut X Series Championship? If he makes it, it'll be his first time in the playoffs in his Pizza Hut X Series career as well. So another historical mark may have just happened for Carson Gum here tonight. That is the ride, the car, at least the team, that Elijah Gilbert was a part of with the 55 last season. So the race-winning caliber continues on for that team here into Season 4. Carson Gum, 3 full-time seasons, and finally career win number 1 in the Pizza Hut X Series. William Brock so close, but his car was just not strong enough. He had 3 opportunities at Carson Gum on restarts and just couldn't capitalize on it. The car just not strong enough to be able to keep up with the 99. He'll have to settle for second. That's his best finish of the season, though. Garrett Sydnor will get Rookie of the Race as he'll finish in 3rd. Chloe Ericsson brings it home in 4th. I do believe that with Andre Baranowskis and Angel Navarro having their issues tonight, I believe that Chloe Ericsson is going to take the points lead over heading to next week at Watkins Glen. Eli Bright's going to finish out the evening in 5th place with Chris Dollerton, teammate Matt McIntire 6th and 7th. Steve Morgan finishes 8th. 9th was Mason Wood. And Quentin Moore, great run for him as he's going to complete the top 10. Jordan Lopez is going to finish the evening out in 11th. How about Scott Roush? He was actually the reason for our first caution coming out. He's going to finish out in the 12th position, I should say. Seth Cole, we saw him come to pit road under the first caution. He battles back for a 13th place finish. Ryan George gets 14th, and Phil Parker is going to complete the top 15. Rest of your top 20 were Joshua Hyatt, Kyle Langeland, Z Flickinger, Cody Llamas, and Joshua Osborne. You look on down through the remainder of the finisher results. I can say this probably pretty definitely. Former points leader Angel Navarro finishes in the 25th position. Driver that came in second in points, Andre Baranowskis, finished out of the race in 39th and was joined by drivers C Merrick Jr., James Qualls, Ben Braley, Yin Canario, Jake Rogers, Cole Deaver, Jessica Miles, Charles Jackson, Dougie Shears, Nathan Hudson, and Diego Yepes. So this is definitely going to be a big point shake-up race, no doubt about that. And we're heading into another track next week where they turn right and left at Watkins Glen. Carson Gum gets his first career win in the Pizza Hut X Series, though, tonight at Iowa. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We have shown your full finish results. These are your rookie points and your overall point standings heading into next week. The drivers that would currently, if the season were to end now, be in the 12 playoff positions are highlighted in yellow on the standings grid. Next week, we're going to see the Pizza Hut X Series drivers at the road course of Watkins Glen, but we still need to finish out this race weekend. The Hershey's Cup Series drivers are not here. They're in the neighboring state of Illinois as they'll be going dirt track racing at the Springfield Mile. You're not going to want to miss that. We'll see you guys next week as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its Best. Good night from Iowa.